Greetings, listeners. Welcome to Consulting Between Friends. I am your host, Michael Holmes Jr. Communication is very important for human life. This is how we express ourselves to one another. Meeting different individuals bring meaning to our everyday life. We have a very unique way to communicate together. We communicate, for instance, verbally by saying what's on our mind, nonverbal by expressing body language, visually by paying attention to someone's looks, and writing by writing out our thoughts that we reflect on. These are ways we communicate every day, but over different generations, this form has changed with the invention of technology. The invention of technology has made communicating more easier among individuals from different locations. Individuals don't have to be in the same place or the same space to communicate with each other like in the past. In this current century, people communicate in new ways via the internet. This new way of social media has changed how we all communicate overall, from chatting, posting pictures or videos, and showing off to the world who we are or what we want to be. The environment of social media works in an instant. It has changed the way we see ourselves. With different algorithms that can push content you enjoy it over and over. This world of the internet can also cause conflict with others and things we enjoy. This conflict is by canceling different things we all might not agree with. For instance, a song, a law, and the history we shy away from. This conflict that has caused an uproar among individuals is called cancel culture. These are the major issues that will be discussed in this episode. In this interview, I will be interviewing two brilliant teenagers who are involved in a church youth group at St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church. They will give you their perspective of the world they see right now before them. Their names are Terrence Carter and Jamyra Small. The topic is social media and cancel culture, the new reality of life. We will return after a message from our sponsor. Everyone is always planning things, and advertising is needed to make it happen. So, if it's personal or business, let Pinpoint Designs and Images solve that problem. With Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC, you will receive quality work and professional service at a great price. The service that is offered: flyers, business cards, programs, invitations, photo books, ad booklets, and much more. Michael Holmes Jr., owner/principal designer of Pinpoint Designs and Images LLC. Contact me by email or social media. Email address is pinpointdesignsandImages@gmail.com, and Instagram Pinpoint Designs, and Facebook Pinpoint Designs and Images. We are back. Before the interview begins, I want to give you a little background on Terrence Carter and Jamyra Small. Terrence is a member of the Parish Council of SJW, a KPC member, and a board member of the Teens United in Faith Forever youth group. Terrence attends Jefferson Rise Charter School. Jamyra attends Belle Chase High School. Jamyra is in the Culinary and Robotics Club at her school. She is also in the NSHSS and enrolled at University of Holy Cross. My guest today is Terrence and Jamyra. Now, welcome to Consulting Between Friends podcast.
Oh, hi, Terrence Carter.
Hi, I'm Jamyra Small.
How are y'all doing today?
I'm
Doing
good.
fine this evening.
Are y'all looking forward to this interview?
Of
Yeah.
course.
I'm looking forward to interviewing y'all as well. Before we start, I would like you to explain your background, Terrence.
I am I'm in my senior year at Jefferson Rise High School. I am also a board member of my CYO group in St. Joe the Worker. And yeah.
Okay. I like you had to say Terrence. Now, Jamyra, can you explain your background?
I'm a senior at Belchase High School. I'm a member of TUF at St. Joseph the Worker Church, and I'm in a robotics club and a culinary club at my
Oh,
school.
I like what y'all both have to say. This interview is going to be really interesting. To let y'all know, I'm taking a different approach than usual. So, the two people I'm interviewing today, I let them come up with the topic because this is a certain thing I wanted to do overall. Now we're about to start. Terrence, do you believe social media is important to the youth?
Yes, I do believe it's important for us to be able to express ourselves on different platforms as well as there's also different ways of communication as well.
Why do you believe that?
Well, if you look at it today, most people are usually, expressing themselves in different ways, art, dancing, music, as well as just communicating with their friends, as well as doing different other group activities, reaching out to different communities.
Okay. Jamyra, you have anything to say on that?
I agree. I agree. It's with social media, it's really prominent now since that's how kids grew up with iPhones and tablets. So they got really accustomed to social media, be able to use it a lot and see other people's lives constantly via that. And it's really become a major part of people's lives because you always have your phone on you. You're always
Hmm.
looking at TikTok, Facebook, Instagram all the time.
Yes, that is definitely true. Social media is very important these days. Who would have thought it'd be something that you really focus on every single day, especially the youth? And that's what we're focusing on today. Social media has played a major part in bullying. Why do you think this happens, Terrence?
The reason why something like that would happen is mostly because there's many people who present ill will in those type of communities, and they would like to just do harm. But at the same time, it's also because people, it's enough for a lot of things, jealousy as well as many other factors.
Okay. Bullying has always been around from since I was younger. I know I'm 41 now, but it's in a different way now. Now it's on social media and the internet as well. So, do you have anything to say on this, Jamyra?
Well, I agree with you saying, but like with social media, since you have it all the time, you get a lot desensitized to people's feelings because
Hmm.
it's through a phone and you're not like seeing them in person. So it makes it easier to like disconnect from them and be more hostile and see like all nitpick really tiny things that regularly you wouldn't see and stuff like that. And besides that, it's like seeing it like all the time. Experience different things you never seen before that you don't understand.
Hmm.
It makes you become more hostile because you don't understand what it is and how it affects other people.
Yes. Okay. How social media affects your life, Jamyra?
And well, in my life, I'm always on it. Like it's either TikTok or like Reddit. It's like takes up at least a good chunk of my day. Because when I don't have nothing to do, I'll scroll on my phone. If I'm not like talking to my family, my friends, I'm scrolling on my phone. It's just a regular for me.
Okay. Well, since you say it's a regular for you, if this wasn't a part of your life now, what do you think you would be doing?
Probably like reading or doing something art wise, doing like puzzles or going outside if I didn't have my phone on me all the time.
Okay. You have anything to say on this question, Terrence?
I personally don't use social media that often, but the main platforms I do see myself on is an app called Discord and as well as YouTube, mainly for purely for entertainment and to communicate with other people that I know in person, but also to connect with some people that I've met across the world as well. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's good. I do think social media has its good benefits and it also has its bad benefits as well. But the good benefits is allow people to connect in all different ways and across the world, just like you mentioned. But these days, social media has also taken effect over people's lives and might not want to do other things. Do y'all both agree with that?
Of course.
Yes. Why do you believe certain books and movies from the past are being banned today? Jamara?
I believe that it's because it would come from a place of like power and control. If let's say like you're in like Texas, they're trying to ban like books about gay people because they
Mhm.
don't want their people to know about it or be exposed to it, so they can be like closed minded and hostile to those people, so they can like pass like bad laws against them or something.
Mhm.
It's all comes from like I don't want you to know, so you don't get power over me and stuff like that.
Okay, I do agree with that. And because really, the book banning, I really find it kind of really crazy. I had always been going on for years, but now it's doing it even more. You have anything to say on that, Terrence?
I agree, but it's usually based on perception. It's all about controlling people's perception on certain things. That's literally all it's about.
So, what do you mean by perception? Perception.
Perception. What I mean by perception is, let's say for example, the Harry Potter books. Currently that's going on right now is people are trying to ban a certain video game that is based off that said books because of the creator who is accused of being transphobic. Now I'm not sure what was said in her social media post or whatever, but basically what people are trying to do is just ban the game and try to ban people from playing the game because they said if you are playing that said game, you are contributing to transphobia, which is not true because the game has nothing to do with the author or the books whatsoever.
Hmm. That's really interesting. I didn't even know that fact. You have anything to say about other stuff being banned?
People like want to ban something if it doesn't exactly align with them. Like take the video game for example. A lot
Hmm.
of trans people say that oh the author's transphobic, and a lot of that stuff was I won't say taken out of context because some of the things she said was like leaning on the transphobic side of things, but the game itself has nothing to do with her.
Hmm.
It's only her what she made, and in my opinion they shouldn't do that because that game brought a lot of people together when it came out, and just because it doesn't align with you doesn't mean you should ban it, even if you don't agree with it or it's not exactly positive. You shouldn't ban something outright just because you don't like it. Because there's a whole world of people who might like it or they might want to learn about it or they might agree or something else.
Yes, I can agree with that as well. Because things that are being banned, not everybody's going to agree with every single thing that's out there in the first place. It's not made to make everybody feel good about the situation or whatever's going on. But these days, people believe that people shouldn't have the right to actually express what they believe in. You have something to say about that?
It's like people want other people to express what they believe in, but they want them to express in the way that they like it. If you don't like it, you're wrong. No matter what it is, no matter how positive or negative it is, if it's not aligning with a certain group of people, it's wrong.
Mhm.
There's no look into it. There's no research. It's just outright, you're wrong. Doesn't even get a chance to look into it more or try to talk to other people about it. You're shut down from the jump, and there's no communication about it at all.
Mhm. Yes. What are some of the popular social media apps?
Oof, probably what Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube,
Twitch.
Twitch. Ooh. We'll give some more.
I would say maybe like mostly 90% of social media apps are popular, especially Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter,
Mm-hmm.
YouTube, Twitch.
All the basic ones.
And there's even underground ones like Discord that most people you wouldn't believe actually use it to this day, but
But
most people
Discord's
don't really
pretty
know
big
about it.
though.
Most people don't really know about it though. If you
I
think,
feel like have you seen the platform? It's huge.
I promise you, if you ask your local kid, they will not know what Discord is.
Well, of course not a 5-year-old. Why would you ask a 5-year-old?
Ask anybody. Ask anybody. I promise you.
Sure. I can guarantee you. Go ask a 20-year-old, they'll know what it is.
It is very rare for someone to have no Discord here, down here in Louisiana, New Orleans at least.
Well, I actually know about Discord. I learned about
See,
it.
exactly.
I learned about it.
Alright.
I learned about it during the pandemic. Really, I
Exactly.
connected through somebody
Maybe I
on
was
through
wrong.
social media and so on. But it surprised me how the platform works and it connects to. But what I learned about it my own self is it's more popular with people who's gaming. I learned about that basically.
Yeah.
So since I did ask you about the popular social media apps, which ones do you think in your generation prefer to use the most?
Definitely TikTok.
Yeah.
It's what
TikTok
TikTok and YouTube and Twitch, I would
and
say, are the
Twitter.
top three,
And
top
maybe
four.
and maybe Instagram. Maybe Instagram.
I would say TikTok is definitely up there. It's
Number
definitely
one. TikTok is
one.
number one.
Sadly, it is.
Yes, I can agree with that. Why you think a lot of people your age prefer TikTok overall?
Because it's a short video. You don't have to wait too long. You can scroll. It's not like YouTube where it's like a 10, 20 minute, 30-minute video. It's like a 10-second, 2-minute video that you can watch and keep on going and keep on going. And like a lot, oof. TikTok doesn't have like a limit. You can keep on going and going and going and going and it doesn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
It's so like you'll have that like nerve to like keep on going to see what's next, over and over and over again.
There's definitely a lot of trends out there as well. People like to follow trends, and usually TikTok is usually the home base of certain trends as well. So,
or their favorite celebrities.
that's true.
Mm-hmm. That is definitely true. Who would have thought TikTok would change the world?
Literally. First it was Musically, now it's TikTok.
Yes. Well, since you did mention about TikTok, I know you both heard about on the news that the United States is trying to ban TikTok in the United States. How do y'all feel about that?
Well, I personally don't use TikTok, so for me it goes either way.
Honestly, I don't think they would. I won't say it's impossible that they wouldn't ban it, but like it's like low because there's so many people on it. There's so many things you can do on it, and like you can get a whole lot of information off of TikTok.
Mm-hmm.
And even though like it is run by China,
Mm-hmm.
and that's like a negative, but like people don't care about that. They would keep on using it because their favorite people are on there. They can meet people on TikTok all over. You know, it's like any regular social media app you can do, watch, make on it all the time.
Mm-hmm. I am amazed how different trends and how different things do function on social media, especially with TikTok. It got everybody attention. You can just scroll and look at one video, and you look at another one and another one over and over again. It becomes very addicted in just all kinds of different ways.
Yeah, I agree.
What are the dangers of cancel culture, Terrence?
Based on the severity or the extreme people are willing to go to get you, well, so-called canceled, it could be devastating. It could honestly pretty much ruin your life. If you, let's say for example, if you're a content creator and you do get banned on that said platform, you're no longer making money.
Mm-hmm.
You can't even go out in public. There's definitely things that people do. People will go to different extremes. They will dox you, reveal where your location is. They'll bring up old things to get you to stir up drama. I like to think of it as basically a loaded gun.
Hmm.
If someone can dislike your ideals or dislike you if for any type of reason, they could find a way to get you canceled. Because at first, cancel culture was just a thing for basically if people were actually doing wrong. But now people have abused it to a point where they can basically come out after whoever they want.
I do agree people has been abusing cancel culture overall. You have anything to say on that, Jamyra?
Personally, I think at first cancel culture was a good thing. It was like, okay, if somebody did something really bad, like if they like they're like a pedophile or a rapist or something, you could find them on the internet and you could like get them arrested. But now since they do it so much over so little evidence, people don't care about it anymore. It's like, oh, who got canceled like this week? It doesn't matter because if you do it so much, it voids out, it cancels out. And cancel culture, it's so toxic because you could say one thing out of context and you got canceled. And that ruins your entire life because people will dox you. They will try to get you fired or whatever.
Get swatted.
Yeah.
Get swatted.
They will make sure like your life is done, even though it wasn't even right, even though it wasn't even true. Cancel culture is also very hypocritical. It might cancel one person for something, but not the other person for the exact same thing because of their gender or something, or because they align more with them.
Yes.
So they don't feel right to cancel them, even though they really should.
Mm-hmm.
It's all like kind of like a hive mind, I guess. If one person gets on the bandwagon, everyone else jumps on, no matter if they know it or not.
Yes, I do agree with that. And the cancel culture thing, I do find it so amazing that it's like you hear something and you get canceled, and because somebody could say something or do something, and it can actually just change their life forever. Now, since we did get on this cancel culture thing, do you think the youth, y'all age group and under, is going to affect the most overall?
I want to say so since they like grew up with cancel culture, so they know what it is, and they will be like running after like they jump the gun and cancel somebody else because I do want to be in the loop.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I feel like it will affect the younger generations more,
Mm-hmm.
but hopefully it might like level out and even out, and like it won't be as much as time goes on.
Yes.
But also to keep in mind, it'll just make us grow out to be more scared of what to even express or what to even say on social media. It's basically a jail cell on social media.
Or it could do the exact opposite and make you not care. Because if I'm going to get canceled anyway, I might as well express myself how I want to.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't care about other people's opinion. They're going to cancel me. Just let them cancel me. It doesn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So it can go either way.
Hopefully that's the case.
Hopefully.
Well, I can agree with y'all basically saying overall. What would be your solution to cancel culture overall, Jamyra?
I don't think there's an actual solution because there's so many people taking place in cancel culture that it would be really hard to actually solve the problem. But like in a theoretical standpoint, to solve the problem, we need to get more like information on it, to research about it more, to like search up the person, look at their background, and go through it thoroughly and unbiasedly to make sure, oh, this person is bad. This wasn't just like a mistake or like they didn't grow out of it because cancel culture make it where you can't grow past your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps having to keep you in this one box that you did something like 10 years ago. Doesn't matter if you grew, doesn't matter if you had kids, wife, doesn't matter if you transformed yourself. You could donate $1 million and they will still think you are the bad guy because of the one thing you did 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So like I don't think there's a true solution to it because there's too many people involved to actually have an actual solution.
Yes, I can agree with that. You have anything to say on that, Terrence?
Sadly, I believe right now there's literally no solution to stop it at this point. But I would say to somewhat suppress it or suppress the uprise of it is basically people who are into cancel culture to basically follow their own rules. Because cancel culture is so objective and basically they target and just aggro on whoever they please and not even bat an eye to others who are do 10 times worse only because their own biased opinions.
Mm-hmm. So do y'all both find it so interesting that cancel culture is something very popular these days more than ever?
A little bit, yeah. Because I think it's like mind blowing how quickly somebody would like ready to assume the worst about somebody without even giving them like even a slight chance to explain themselves or do anything or even like a slight misconception. Because especially like now dating,
Mm-hmm.
even the smallest age gap could be like grounds for cancellation if you're 17 and they're 18,
Mm-hmm.
or if you're 16 and they're 18. Doesn't matter if it's like 2, 3. It's still wrong because that one person is legal and the other one's not. They're technically speaking a minor, even though they've been together for like 5 years prior to that. And someone can get canceled over that just because they so happen to have their birthday so happen to be earlier than the other person's.
Mm-hmm.
You could even get accused of being groomed on top of that.
Or be a pedophile.
That as well.
I just find it so weird how you are so quick to assume, even though if you take it out of that, if you say, oh, If a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old are dating, it's fine. But the minute that 17 becomes 18, it's a problem. I find that very odd because they're still dating before. They've known each other for like 5 years. They're one grade, not that far apart. It just blows my mind how quickly people would just assume the worst.
Cancel culture usually, to me, stems from sensitivity as well as insecurities, because there could be many reasons why people even want to get people canceled.
Yeah.
It's a lot of negativity, but what I've seen is mainly stems from sensitivity, because people usually, for example, even comedians can't even do their jobs anymore because people will make a joke about it, and then next thing you know, they're already getting canceled, but they're too big to get canceled because they're at the end of the day they're just doing their jobs, making people laugh. So there's nothing they can really do, but yet they constantly over and over and over try to get these people canceled.
Because people usually don't see words as a form of art, even though it is. It's like acting, it's like singing and dancing. Be able to do stuff like that does take talent and like efforts to do. They see it as like almost like a target on them. If you don't say it right, you're trying to target them, or you're trying to belittle them, or you're trying to oppress them to this, that, and the third, because they haven't been exposed to it, at least not long enough. They haven't, been around for that long to truly understand it. They can't like take a joke because they're overly sensitive because of social media, and they can't get accustomed to it, I guess. Yes. And plus it's such, because social media is like any other like drug. You can get addicted to it, and once you get addicted to it, it's like everything goes out the window. It's like your sensitivity heightens and all of that. You get withdrawals if you're not on it, and stuff like that. It blows my mind that people would actually do that to somebody else. Like these people have a family, they have a wife, they have kids. You're not just affecting that one person, you're affecting their whole family, because they cannot make money. You might make somebody else homeless one of these days, but they truly don't care about that. As long as you are down, that's all they care about.
Yeah, I can't agree with that, because when I heard that happen to Dave Chappelle when he was performing, I couldn't believe that as well.
And it's like, it's Dave Chappelle. It's Dave Chappelle. I feel like that's enough said. Like, it's...
I remember Dave Chappelle even got attacked on stage, but that failed horribly.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, when you try to cancel people like Dave Chappelle, either way they're making money. It doesn't matter. They're still, Netflix gonna give them money. They're still gonna get shows here or there, and they already have a lot of money as is. So it doesn't matter if you cancel them; they still have money.
I believe even the author for Harry Potter books had tweeted in response to a tweet that said, how do you sleep at night knowing that you support all this transphobic stuff? And I believe the response was, I don't know, but when the checks come in, I don't really feel anything. So even though, to me, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. It'll work, but it wouldn't last. And it's almost like it's like a high effort for just no reward whatsoever.
And taken with the Harry Potter thing, I don't know if that's true. I could be wrong. But I have heard about her that she's donated to women's shelters. She's donated all this money to all these other charities and stuff like that, so she doesn't become like a billionaire, millionaire, whatever it was. And people would just like sweep that under the rug just because she said something that doesn't align with them. What she said was bad, yeah, but like compared to everything else in this world, it doesn't really hold a candle. It's like two bad doesn't make a right, my bad. However, one bad is worse than the other. It's like instead of eating 3 rotten apples, you're only eating 1. It's not the same intensity. And she's donating all this money. She's doing all this good, but that doesn't matter because she said something. It's one thing that doesn't align with you. And I find that like, yes, she did. So she said it was a little rough. I can admit that, but like, she kind of made up for it, in my opinion. Does she still damage some people in communities? Because I also heard that she donated to like political people that have the best views. Sure, but like she's donating all this money to women to make sure they're like safe and make sure they're taken care of. And I think that is more important, at least to me, than whatever political standpoint she has, because she's actively helping people in the world.
Yes, I can't agree with what you just basically said about that. Well, since you also, cancel culture is very popular, and we're focusing on it right now, which I'm looking forward to, and that's why I wanted to do this podcast episode with y'all. People also was canceled dealing with like music and movies and like different songs and stuff like this in the past. Like one thing that happened, which I was surprised got canceled, and they changed it into a new version of it. It was a Christmas song called Baby It's Cold Outside. Well, they changed the song and did a new version of it, but the Baby It's Cold Outside song was something that was like in the 50s and 40s. So back then, the way how the song was written and it was fine then. But things now are not the same. So everybody's not going to agree with things was in the past. So people want to start canceling that song or some other type things. How do y'all feel on things like that was in the past that now is not acceptable?
I think people are oblivious to how different generations were, because now it's nowhere near the same as things were back then. So if someone was to come across a very old song, you got to keep in mind things were different back then. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe you don't agree with it. That's fine. You don't have to like the song, but there's no need for you to cancel the person that made it.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I think they look into it way too much. Like Terrence said, it's an old song. What do you really expect? Times were so different back then. The stuff that happened in the 50s would not fly now. You could
Mm-hmm.
get like arrested or whatever, but like it's of course it's gonna be the message is gonna be a little rough. It's gonna be like it's that but like you're not supposed to look too much into it because the time has passed and gone. You can't really do anything about it now. It's futile. It's redundant, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's still a good song. That song made so much money, and it still makes money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like stuff like that. It's like, in my opinion, so stupid to cancel because the time's gone. It still makes money. People still listen to it. People are still going to enjoy it regardless.
Mm-hmm.
No matter how you feel or your opinions on it, it's still going to do what it did 20, 30, 50 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
A good example is, I would say, Snoop Dogg, because he was in an interview with a feminist interviewer, and she had asked him, "Do you ever regret any of the words that you have in your old song?" He said no,
Mm-hmm.
because he said straight up no. But of course, on the podcast, I can't really say what he actually said for censorship reasons. But he did 100% disagree. Like, things were completely different back then. I did not regret a word I said.
Why would he regret? He made so much money. If he didn't say those things he said, he would not be popular or rich today.
Yeah, that's true as well. I can agree with that. Well, the only thing about it is he was younger then, so everything he did when he was younger, it was appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's older now, he might not do it again, but I don't think you should cancel him because of what he did before. Because if you look at it, the people might be canceling him anyway. They might be a fan of him in the first place.
Mm. And plus, Snoop Dogg now is like a whole different person.
Yes, he is. He's in a whole lot of different things. Mm-hmm. He's changed the game
Yeah.
a whole lot.
Because the people who grew up with Snoop Dogg and they find like, oh, he has a cooking show. He's on a game show. He used to do drugs. What?
Yeah.
You know?
Snoop Dogg is in everything. I believe
Yeah.
he has his own kids show now.
Wow, that's
I'm so
insane.
serious. He has his own kids show. At least he
Yeah.
was either that or he's in one.
And this guy used to rap, do drugs, do all this type of stuff, and now he has show for kids. Wow, who would have thought?
Actually, no, it's both. He was in one and he has one.
Mm-hmm.
And if he didn't say those whatever he said, he wouldn't be there today. You wouldn't know this kind, more softer Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, that's true. Because I was surprised when him and Martha Stewart became teams and did a show together.
Yeah.
I ain't see that coming at
No.
all. But that's what you mean. You can't judge people for what they pass, and you can't judge people for who they are in general.
Yeah, very true.
Why should social media apps secure your information? Terrence.
Mainly because people can do all types of source information. Like, for example, let's say if you do have your location, people can hack into your accounts, have access to all your data, and the next thing you know, maybe like a week or maybe a few days later, they have your whole identity. So apps should be securing it for the sake of security in general, because the fact that they're not doing that, it's not exactly good.
What you have to say about that, Jamyra?
I agree. And having apps not secure your, all of your stuff on it, because nowadays, like everything's on your phone. You have your wallet, your credit, all of that. All of it's on your phone. You have some people have their social security card, they have all their phone numbers, they have their license, and if you don't secure that information, someone can literally, via just you being on like Facebook, they can hack into your stuff, take all your stuff. Next thing you know, wow, you have a doppelganger that you didn't even know about who's spending thousands of dollars in Dubai. And it's just like, if you need to secure that so people can feel comfortable on, your websites. Even though in reality, even if they don't secure it because they don't do it now, people are still gonna be on it. Because if it doesn't affect them, it doesn't happen to them. They kind of really don't care. It has to happen to them, then they'll care. Like, oh, they should secure people's information. People might say it in like passing, oh yeah, they should, but they won't press it because it's not affecting them. Or they're not. It's not, really putting a crater in their life. And it's just, I just think off a pure standpoint that literally somebody in another country can get your information just because you're on Instagram. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. I do find it really crazy in general. That's why they have like they tell you to pay attention like what you posting and what you're trying to show people about you because everybody got a big identity online more than you think. Like whatever you post, somebody might can find it. You may don't want to think it, but it's true. So, anything to say on that?
Yeah, your digital footprint can really like mess you up if you do the wrong type of things. I've heard like time to time that people do all this type of stuff on the internet, and then when they go get a job, their job finds their TikTok, their Instagram, or their Twitter, and like, oh yeah, we can't hire you because you did this, and the third on your social media accounts. And they're like, oh my god, I totally forgot about that. I found that like you have to be really aware of what you're doing because since everything's online, anything can get into your social media platform, no matter what it is. Even if it's private, I bet somebody can find it somewhere. Because when it's on the internet, it's on the internet.
So since you did mention about the jobs, do you find it fair that that jobs will basically go ahead and not hire somebody because of their social media profile?
No, I don't think it's fair at all because that's someone's private life. That's completely separate from what they're doing at their job. They're not going to be filming with TikTok at their job. Of course, you can see someone's like more of their personality on TikTok or on social media, and that can be helpful in some aspects. But overall, I don't think you should take someone's social media into account when you're trying to hire them to doing a job. They're not going to be on their phones 24/7. They're not going to do this. Like, let's say it's like a construction job. They're not going to be on their phone that they're like manning a forklift. It's just not going to happen. And even if they were, then you would have grounds to fire them on. You don't have grounds when you don't. When you haven't hired them, you should always give at least one chance before you fire fire somebody.
Yes, I agree with that. You anything to say on that, Terrence?
Nah. She basically said everything I wanted to say.
It's totally fine with that. If any, what apps are important to you, Terrence?
I would probably say Discord is definitely very important to me, mainly because I usually use it to contact most of my family members and my friends, because we all have different group chats and servers that we use. And I would also say YouTube just for purely entertainment, nothing else.
Okay, well, since you mentioned about Discord, how did you find out about Discord in the first place?
I found out about Discord mainly from YouTube and from my friends who use it. But ever since then, it's really just been a part of my life as different ways to communicate with other people. But I have basically grown into the lifestyle of using it. It's pretty beneficial.
So what do you like about Discord?
I guess I can start with the servers. Servers can basically each server has their own community. You can connect with different servers as well to extend that community. It's good for business. It's good for having different meetings, having different announcements and anything, information you need to get through. As far as friend-wise, you have things like emojis, GIFs that you can use to communicate with your friends in different type of ways to express the conversation. Basically, kind of just flares it up a little.
Okay. You have anything to say on this question?
Yeah, see, for me, my top, I want to say, 2-3 apps would probably be like Reddit. I would be. Of course, I'm on it. Listen, I can't lie. No. I can't lie about my life. Okay?
Reddit is like about the same as Twitter.
It really.
If you go too deep, you're gonna find something.
Listen,
you don't want to see.
Reddit is really versatile. It can be really good, but really, really, really bad. That's why when you're on Reddit, let's stay on the surface. You don't want to go.
There's no gray area.
There is a gray area.
There's no gray area.
It's
black
white.
and white.
No, it fades from black to white. There's a lot of stuff in the middle that you don't want to touch. Okay.
It fades too quickly.
did we all forget that Reddit literally brought GameStop back? Like, that's all I'm gonna say.
Do I have to mention stuff you sent me? No.
Well,
Okay.
anyway,
All right.
besides Reddit, since I'm on it a lot, it's to me Reddit. I like it personally. I like the way it's set up and all the things you can do on it. But I don't like use it like to talk to people because I would never think about talking to somebody off of Reddit because that's just a whole nightmare. But besides that, I use Snapchat and I do use Discord. I actually have to use Discord for school for my clubs and stuff like that, so I have to use it. And it's just so I can like communicate with other people and my friends, and like for Snapchat, so I can like send them pictures without having it like go through the whole thing of doing it through like iMessages. I can just take a picture and send it off, and I don't have to do all of that. So that's all I'm really on.
Okay, well, since you mentioned Snapchat and Reddit, why do you like to use those the most?
Probably because first of all for Snapchat, because I can just talk to my friends like easier. Like someone like we don't really talk on iMessage, we just talk on Snapchat. Because you can do a lot with Snapchat. You can send like fancy like your Bitmoji gifs and stuff like that, or those emojis and stuff like that. And it's just a lot easier to send things and talk to people and stuff like that. And like for Reddit, because I like Reddit because it's not like TikTok, it's not like Instagram. It's like a mish between all of them because you have the same thing. You have like posts where there's like videos, or you have like words, like something like what you can read. You have so many subreddits that you can find them anything. Cooking, find it. Dogs, cats, birds, they have it. Anything you want to look at, they have it on there. It's not like Reddit is really uncensored compared to everyone else, at least in my opinion. It's like you don't have to go through those hoops and barrels to look for stuff. You can just literally search it up to find literally anything. And that's why I like it so much, because there's so much stuff you can look at. There's so much things you can read. That you can even find the news on Reddit. It's like you can find anything and everything, but you can have that discussion with people without them like being oversensitive like they would like on Twitter or on Instagram. It's like without someone jumping the gun. You can like someone you can actually back and forth with that actually makes sense. Of course, there's still like sensitive people on Reddit. Sometimes it still gets out of hand. Sometimes there is like misogyny or transphobia or homophobia there still because of social media. There's so many people using it. It's going to happen regardless. But like, that's why I like it so much.
Okay, well, I can agree with that, what you basically just go ahead and said. So how long do you think you spend using social media, Jamyra?
Ooh, that's a lot. Nope.
Love to see it.
No, see, even though I say this type of stuff, I'm not exactly addicted to my phone. I can leave my phone in my room and be doing something else for hours. But like I don't know, at least a good 3 hours, probably more than that. Probably.
Reddit runs through her veins.
Listen,
runs through her veins.
No, it doesn't.
She breathes Reddit.
You know what?
Reddit.
You know what? I can look it up right now. I can look it up right now. I have my screen recording on.
Reddit.
That is so not true. That is so not true. Let me see.
Her hair is red. That's Reddit. Come on up.
This is copper. It's not red. It's a different color.
I don't care. Reddit.
Okay. So how long can you be on it, Terrence?
I'm not on Reddit that often. I'll probably say about 30 minutes and that's it.
Okay.
That's how long it takes me to find something I don't want to see.
Well, any social media.
Discord, mainly because I text my friends. I'm on it basically the whole day. And because I spend some of my time on my computer doing different types of work and just playing games. But mainly to talk to friends though. Discord, I would just unarguably agree I use pretty much 24/7 every day. Yeah, and YouTube, I would say about maybe like an hour. It's not long. I usually use it to play music, but ever since I usually started using Spotify, that's mainly what I use.
Okay, so I looked it up. On average, I'm on social media like 2 hours a day.
Oh my god.
On average, technically speaking, I round it up. Technically speaking, it's an hour and 53 minutes. So 2 hours.
That's a long 2 hours.
It's over like a course of a day.
That's a long 2 hours.
Over a course of, it's really not.
You better be scrolling at a speed of light.
Really not.
Only at 2 hours.
No.
So do y'all find it very funny that people can scroll online for hours, especially on social media?
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, kinda and no, like, because people could just be bored. But
They
from my
could.
standpoint, for someone who likes to go out a lot,
But all day, every day.
yeah, I can't do it.
Like
I
I'm
can't do it.
listen,
I can't do
I'm on the
it.
internet a lot, but having that like intake for a really long period, like just like sitting on the couch scrolling for
Yes.
hours. There could be like 3 movies playing. You're still just scrolling. You're not like turning your attention. That's too much. It's like you need to put your phone down. Your brain needs to breathe.
I can't even play the game for too long because if I play for too long, I'm just gonna want to get out the house. I'm like, okay, we gotta go somewhere. It's like my mom's like, what you mean we gotta go somewhere? We have to go.
Honestly, I can't look at a screen for too long. I can look at it for a long time, but there's gonna be a point when I'm watching something like I need to turn this computer off. I need to toss my phone. I just need to stare at a wall because all this stuff is just like it's like frying my brain, and it's just like ooh, all that blue light. It's not good for you.
I got blue light glasses for that.
But do you wear it when you're on your phone?
Yeah.
I don't see them now.
At home.
Wow.
At home.
At home. Wow.
Oh yeah, you should see my glasses. I rock them.
Sure you do.
I rock them good. Nah.
I totally believe that.
Do you see me the
no ounce of doubt. Still, like social media, like I said, it's like any other drug. It's toxic. It's addictive, and it's made like that on purpose, so you can be addicted to it. You know, because if you like go to places like China, their TikTok completely different from U.S. TikTok. It's very censored. It's very educational. You know, you won't see nothing you see over here you would see over there at all.
Yes, I can agree with that as well. Creative people are always on social media. Why do you think that is, Terrence?
I would say mainly to like promote their products because mainly I would see most creative people are like usually entrepreneurs or they're artists and as well as people like doing what they love. So most creative people use social media so they can express and be like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm good at. And usually people will like that and they get inspired to do things, other things. So it's to me, it's all in a matter of what purpose they have into bringing it into social media because you don't because I could say let's say I could be good at robotics, but I don't have to sit there and post on social media unless I want to either promote robotics or get people inspired to do different things, do things that they love. It's all in a matter of what you're trying to do by posting it on social media. It's all about intentions.
Yes, intentions or something. We have to say about that, Jamyra.
Like yeah, that's pretty much it. Like you go on like so many social media to get like inspiration. Because personally for me, I like to draw, I like to do art and stuff like that. And like when I'm like looking for something to do or something new to make, I go on TikTok to like to find something new. Like if I want to make something like cooking, like search like what to cook today or like something quick to cook. Or like if I'm trying to draw references, I'll go like Pinterest. I love Pinterest. Great app. Oh my god, it's fantastic. To look for like reference photos.
My best friend loves going to Pinterest. I don't know.
It's great.
I can never understand why people like sitting there going to Pinterest.
Cause there's unlike everywhere else, Pinterest, you're not scrolling and seeing one thing. When you open it up, you have first of all you have of course search bar, little tags, and then you have 2 columns full of stuff.
Yes.
So you're looking at back to back to back to back. You're not going scrolling through one thing at a time. You're going like 8, 10 at a time.
Do they have videos?
Yes, they have videos. Some of the videos are kind of like TikTok, you know.
I thought Pinterest was just all pictures.
I
don't use pictures. I don't know. I don't use pictures.
You have pictures. You got videos. You can find TikToks on them. You can get references. You can buy stuff off of Pinterest. You can do anything on any other app that you can do on Pinterest.
I'm just sitting here watching my friends go on Pinterest. I'm like, I don't.
It can be personally for me. I don't have to be on Pinterest too much because if I want it too much, I'm going to find something that I'm going to like and want to buy. I can't do that because Pinterest has a lot of ads. I'm not gonna lie. If I scroll twice, at least good 2 to 3 ads. And some of the stuff is really pricey. Or you want to make it. I don't want to be too inspired, to go out and like no. But I love Pinterest. It's like plus you can find like so many cool like artworks on there or like different aesthetics and styles to try out or different food to try out. It's like Pinterest is like really it has everything on it. It's just not as big as everything else.
Yeah.
Because I guess it's more like an art platform, I guess, compared to everywhere else.
Well, I have clicked on Pinterest a few times, and I see you can like find different things you want, like a picture or a video or try to improve yourself in some kind of way. Like you might want to choose this style of clothes, or you might want to choose this look in your future. You might want to eat this way, take this recipe. So it's a little bit of everything. But that's the same thing what TikTok does as well. But the difference of it is the the algorithm will push more stuff to you as well.
And plus, I don't know, because when I'm on Pinterest too much, it will say a thing. I don't know, because it could be my internet that it just glitched out. But it will say, like, there's nothing left, just scroll. Like, that's it. Not, you're done. That, okay. And that's like how, it's like, it moderates it at least just a little bit compared to everyone else. And I do like that, it gives you, like, stuff, and then it stops you from scrolling too much.
Yes. Okay, well, since we did mention people who are creative, and you got content creators, how do y'all feel about the content creators who rely on social media to basically get out their content?
I strongly believe that they're suffering right now because of the fact that things like YouTube and Twitches, they're really upping their policies, and cancel culture is also in effect. So it's really hard for them to start making money right now, because I can list a few, and it's very hard.
Like, I think that content creators, they should try to, like, come from a unit and make their own app so they can run it. So they don't have to worry about things like YouTube with their moderation policies, because they're honestly outrageous, or with Twitch, and because they don't like to pay people. They, like, take a huge chunk out of, their paycheck and just give them basically scraps. Even though it can be still a lot of money, you're still not getting your entire paycheck. And, content creators, they're great. They're, like, really great at what they do, especially the really good ones. But a lot of them aren't what I would say the best people out there. Because a lot of them do lie, and they try to scam kids because, kids are on their platform and stuff like that. And it's just like, because someone can be like a little bit of hit or miss. Sometimes you can, like, hit the jackpot. Sometimes you lose all your money, depending on who, you watch and who influenced you, especially with a lot of older content creators getting canceled, like Shane Dawson. He was a big thing a couple of years ago. And with, like, Jeffree Star and all them, they all got canceled, and they were, like, foundation for some kids' childhood and stuff like that, like Logan Paul and stuff like, and all of them. Those are, like, misses. But then you have other people who are really, really good at what they do, and they really, really do a lot of good things. Like Mr. Beast, I don't watch him personally, but he donates a lot. He's money everywhere. I think that's really good. Really great of him to do. And so it's a really hit or miss. Sometimes it's really good, sometimes it's really bad, and sometimes the platform itself is screwing everybody over, because they do that.
Yeah, that's true. But content creation is really, really, really popular these days. A lot of people rely on content creation, and well, not really. Some people just find out they have a knack in something and they just go for it. But who would have thought content creation could be something that you can get paid for doing and maybe not have an actual job?
And personally, for me, I think content creating is like, you're literally, like, gambling. You are trying and trying and trying, because if YouTube doesn't push your stuff, you're not getting anything. If TikTok doesn't push your stuff, you're not getting nothing. If this and the third is pushing you, you're not getting nothing. Because if you don't post for a long time, they won't push on your stuff. Therefore, you could lose out on a lot of stuff, on a lot of money. It's just like, content creator is good when you get lucky. If you're not lucky, it's not for the faint of heart. It's not for anybody run of the mill. Nobody on average, because it's really hard to do after a long period of time. But once you get there, it gets really easy. You don't have to post like 2-3 times a week. You can post once a week, as long as you just keep on posting like weekly or at least bi-weekly. It works out. It checks out. But if you don't, they will suppress you. You lose all your stuff. You might lose the creator fund. You might lose that because they're not pushing you, because how the platforms are set up and run. So yeah, like I said, it's hit or miss.
Yes. You have anything to say on that?
She said
Terrence?
once again, she took everything out of my mouth. I don't know what's going on. She just
spread your mind. Got not do that.
Well, y'all doing a really great job. Well, to let you know, we're coming down to the last question. Why do you think people communicate differently over messaging apps? Terrence.
I would say mainly because people when they use social media, especially when they're communicating, they like to give themselves a sense of identity. Because I would see it definitely on Discord. People will definitely act differently the way they act like in their personal lives. So it's all the sake of like how they want to be seen to the people they're reaching out to. So I would say yeah, to give themselves a different identity or sense of identity. Yeah.
Okay, you have anything to say on that, Jamyra?
Yeah, first, like, I think it's because you can't see their face. If you can't see my face, I can act however I want to act because I'm not going to get any actual repercussions.
Exactly.
Because on the internet, people be acting crazy. It's just like, people really act like keyboard warriors. Because you can't see their face, they'll say anything and everything without any real consequences. But the moment you say, hey, I'm going to tell your mama, everything comes to a halt, comes to a stop. It's just like, ooh, I'm actually going to get actual consequences if you actually find out who my mother is.
Mhm.
It's just like, just because you can't see their face.
People be finding that too.
Yeah, that's funny. They
find
will
it.
find it. If they say, I'm going to find your mom, I'm going to find your husband, your wife, it's going to get done by next week. And your family's going to come get you for intervention. Like, we found this on the internet. How can you explain yourself? You know, it's a whole big thing. Because people get, like, caught after caught doing some crazy stuff online. Because I see it on Reddit all the time. You see these posts of, like, oh, I saw my husband on the internet. He dressed up as like a furry or something. And it's because they found it because someone sent it to them. I found that, like, just because someone does this to your face, that does not mean it can't come back and, you know, get you in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with that as well. And then the other thing about the messaging apps. So I know y'all know about Elon Musk, and he bought Twitter, and a lot of people younger and some people don't go on Twitter. How do y'all feel about the Twitter platform itself? And do you think Elon Musk did a great thing of buying a social media called Twitter?
No, at all. Elon Musk did it to basically, I want to say, to prove a point. Like, to say he can do it. I think he really kind of ruined Twitter because at first Twitter, it was in this nice standstill where it wasn't censored. You could say a lot of stuff, but you couldn't say nothing too outlandish. It was a really good, like, vibe. Even though you said something like negative or something weird, it wouldn't get censored out. It wouldn't. You could talk about whoever you want to talk about without getting suppressed. But now, if you talk about Elon Musk, he will suppress the stuff you say about him or whatever celebrity. He will suppress things. He will make you pay for stuff you didn't have to pay for. Because at first, you didn't pay for the blue check mark, but now you do. I think he should not have done that. He basically ruined the foundation Twitter was. It took all those years to build up to be, but now it's just like basically starting from square one again.
I feel indifferent about it because at the same time I do agree with that, but at the same time it's like I feel like to me personally it's kind of attack on culture, cancel culture, because now you can basically say what you want without any type of consequence. Because yeah, they can somewhat cancel you, but they can't really do you anything because your account isn't banned or suspended or anything. You're still there. So
yeah, because he will literally.
Because people can hate on it all you want, but you will still be fine because of the fact that since he bought it, the policies are different now. So he doesn't really.
And plus, Elon Musk, he really, besides Twitter, the platform itself, all the people behind it, he fired all of them. And I think that's even worse. Do whatever you want with Twitter, but like people make money off of that, and a lot of money at that. And you just want to fire them just because of what? Because they look a little bit different, because they actually want to have a good site ran correctly.
Yes.
Because they go against you, like. All of it, in my opinion, is pointless. I'm not on Twitter. I don't even touch Twitter, but I just think it's that little whole thought process was really stupid because Elon Musk loves to prove a point. He wants to be better than people because he's, rich, he's a billionaire, this, that, and the third. That's just how he is, at least what I've seen on the internet. I just think the whole thing was pointless. You could have kept how it was going. It should not have gotten sold from the first place, but then again, he is offering a whole lot of money, so it kind of makes sense. But then he did buy Twitter for how much was it? Do you remember?
It was billions.
Yeah, it's like
millions.
Yeah, like it's so much money, and it's just it's Twitter. It's Twitter.
Would you rather him buy YouTube? Honestly, I would rather him buy YouTube. Honestly,
yeah, I feel like it would be.
I would
better.
rather him buy YouTube.
It's like
because then it would be justified for him to fire everybody.
From a I want to say a business standpoint, between Twitter and Facebook,
Mhm.
I personally probably would buy Facebook, and then I could have Instagram. So you have two platforms for like the cost of like one or whatever. Via Twitter is just one solid platform that not everybody is on. Even though it has a lot of people, not everybody is on Twitter like that.
I think it's just the fact that Twitter is just bigger between the both of them. It's bigger.
Really?
Yes.
Oof. I didn't know that much.
Twitter's just bigger. Nah. Twitter's just built different. I can't.
Still, I just think he just like ruined like they're like this like really nice like it was even.
I
It was just
mean,
like
you kind of can't blame him. He's trying to make money. Like,
but
it's all about making
he
the
doesn't
money.
need to make money. He has Tesla.
Yeah, man. He already a genius. That man trying to make making moves, man.
Listen, I heard. I don't know if this is right. I did hear that he stole the idea of Tesla from somebody else. So all that was like a ruse. He didn't come up with it. Someone else came up with it. So therefore he stole it. So if that's true, he's just a con artist and he is not a good person. I don't think he's a good person from the jump because Tesla, the car, is not the best electric car you can get because now they're exploding. They cost way too much.
I don't think somebody would steal an idea, would sit there and take that money from that said idea and start a space program to build rockets.
Wow, that's crazy that you think that. Of course they would. Why wouldn't they? If you stole my idea, okay, and you're making all this money, and you say, oh, look at that, you know what rich people need? A new planet. Of course you'll make a whole rocket for it.
No, not. You are too selfish for that. You are too selfish for that. Too selfish. You are way too selfish for that. I would have put that on my family, and after that, I would have just sat there and retired. I would have not had to work a day in my life.
Well, he doesn't have to work. I mean, but that is you. You know, I don't think you're a horrible person. So, yeah, horrible people do that. No, just put that idea out there that hey, maybe if you get rich enough, then you can go to space with us. Yeah, sure, maybe, just maybe. You know, if you get that 1%. You know, it's putting that idea out there. Personally, I don't think rich people should function the way that they do because it's really just, you're ruining the whole world atmosphere. Because you have all this money for what? You're going to die. You still have all that money for what? You know?
That pass on to the family, the next generation, so we can keep going.
And they die. So they have the money for what?
And then you pass it on again.
It's
a generational pass on.
You know what happens? Take Walmart, for example. The guy who ran Walmart, the whole purpose of making Walmart is so that people, like poor people, can buy food. Mm-hmm. Now, since all his money went to his kids, you know what they did to Walmart? They jacked up the prices because they don't care about people. They just want money. Mm-hmm. So it's better to give that money to the community, you know, so it will repay itself over time.
Yeah, inflation is funny.
No, besides, it would be for that. It would be
like even now, inflation is making it worse.
Oh yeah, no, inflation sucks. Now, if rich people were to kindly donate their money, maybe it could even out because there's billions upon billions upon billions of money they can give to other people. But God forbid you help a poor person. God forbid.
Well, y'all took the conversation to a different level, but it's kind of okay. I enjoyed the conversation y'all just did, basically, on a level. But I'm going to bring it back to social media.
Okay.
And the social thing, question I'm coming up with is, what top apps that you think will still be around in the next, 2 or 3 years?
All of them.
There's no way none of them are going away. There's no way none of them are going away. They're too big. That doesn't make sense for them to just give out.
Maybe 20 years. I could see them changing or evolving, but not going away completely.
I would say hopefully in 20 years there's a new platform that probably gets rid of YouTube or Twitch.
Oh, it probably is going to be.
That would be heaven.
Yeah, theoretically, yes. But actually, even if there is a new platform, it's not going to be fantastic. There's going to be something. There's always something. If it's too good to be true, it usually, the whole saying.
If it's better, it's better. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. I know Discord still be around. I hope it's going to be, because if it's not, I'm going to be very upset.
Yeah.
I'm going to be very upset.
Obviously.
So, with the social media thing we just talked about and cancel culture overall, I enjoy hearing y'all conversation on both topics today. And I have learned a lot. And I know people who's going to be listening to this episode has learned a lot. we'll be learning a lot as well. Before we end this episode, I would like to have both of y'all, starting with Terrence, what is your contact information like with social media if people want to contact you?
My Instagram is at ImagineIKid, and my email is liltco5@gmail.com. Yeah. Yeah.
And Jamyra?
And personally, for me, I only have my email, which is what JamyraS14@gmail.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, once again, Terrence and Jamyra, thank you for being a guest on Consulting Between Friends podcast.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
After a short break, we will return. We are back. In closing, I hope the information discussed today on social media and cancel culture was very helpful from a younger perspective. The two teenagers I interviewed explained why social media is important and valuable to their generation overall. They also discuss the benefits and dangers of not protecting your privacy online. Teenagers' views of cancel culture was completely different from mine, and it was nice to get a different perspective. One last thing. Remember to support local businesses and think before you act on your emotions. Your wrong actions can cause future consequences. Thank you for listening to Consulting Between Friends. This podcast is available on Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and Apple Podcasts, as well other platforms that are available. So like and subscribe. Need to contact us and leave us a comment? You can find us on Instagram at Consulting the letter B Friends. Once again, Consulting B Friends. An email address is consulting the letter B friends at gmail.com. Once again, consulting B friends at gmail.com. Consulting Between Friends now has a merch online store called Podcast Merch Headquarters. This is where you can buy merch to show your support for the podcast. Some items to choose from are t-shirts, tumblers, and hoodies, as well many other things I know you will appreciate. So take the time to review the items in the store. The link will be available in the podcast notes under Podcast Merch Headquarters. Consulting Between Friends appreciates the constant support. It means a lot. If you would like to support the podcast more, you can find me on Patreon at Consulting Be Friends. Once again, at Consulting Be Friends. The link will be in the description. Consulting Between Friends now has a way for listeners to share their feedback about the podcast. The listeners can now share their feedback on Discord. The link will be available in the podcast notes and on the podcast website. Thanks again for the support. If you have an extra minute, it would be greatly appreciated if you could answer a few questions regarding the quality of the podcast. The link will be in the description. Consulting between friends. Thanks to everyone for making this possible. The host, Michael Holmes Jr., the producer and content creator, Michael Holmes Jr., the artwork cover, Michael Holmes Jr., original music, a DJ named Slash, special guests, Terrence Carter, Jamyra Small, content distributor, My Producer Podcasts.